Hi everyone, it's Lisa. Today on DoodleDrawArt, we're finally going to draw the Batman logo. I've been having lots of requests for this, so let's get started. You're going to need your Sharpie, yellow marker, and of course your pencil and eraser. So what you're going to do first, this is the hardest part, is getting the oval of the logo established. So the oval, I'm going to make mine sort of fill up the page, and I'm going to make it about this big. So if it's going to be this big, I also want it to be about this wide. So I'm also going to make some guidelines here on the edges, just to kind of establish the width and the height. Now this is not scientific, I didn't measure. I just know that by my eye, it is an oval and it's going to be about this big. So what you can do is just like drag your hand around in this oval shape a few times just to see if you can make an oval that fits in there. And then you're going to go ahead and get started trying to make it, and we're going to do a few, I like to do this floating it on a few times until we find the shape that we like. So here, this doesn't matter if I get it right or wrong. I'm just going to float this oval, and I'm going to float it a few times. Some are going to be bigger and some are going to be smaller, but what this is going to do is going to help me find the perfect oval that I'm going to like in the end. So over here, this is looking really good. I like this edge here, and I like this line here. So I'm just kind of picking a line out of all of the ones I've drawn because I can see the right shape. It's just hard to do it freehand sometimes. It's nice to have a bit of a guideline to give you some direction to go with these more purposeful lines. All right, so, and then I'm going to do some erasing because of course there's an awful lot of lines here, but I want to try to get this shape established. So I'm helping you see how to do this because we can't all draw perfect ovals the way a computer program can put them out. That's why it's called art. Okay, so I'm just going to erase a bit of this now so you can start to see the shape that I'm forming, the outside of my logo. And I don't want it to be pointy in any section. I want it to be a smooth arc. So I'll refine this if I feel like I need to after I get this arc established. That's looking pretty good. I just need to clean up over here. I'm trying to stay out of the way of my camera line, so sometimes it just gets a bit awkward for me to get the lines just right. Okay, so I'm going to call this the outside edge of my logo, and now I'm going to draw the bat. So what we're going to do is we're going to come around the edge of one of the wings. And what we'll do is we're going to be starting off about, the wings are going to be about a third of the way around the edge, and they're going to come out to the edge on the outside, not as far into the middle. So if I go straight down, they're going to finish more like here. So I'm just going to draw an oval, similar shape to what I had before, and same thing on the other side. So I'm leaving space here for white that I'm going to put in, or yellow that I'm going to put in after. Same thing on this side, just a nice arcing shape that comes around to the same point that I stopped at. So now we can draw the bat's head, and what we're going to have is the two ears just here in the middle. So I'll make two dots to show where those ears are going to go, and we're going to come down like this across the head and then back up. So that's a straight line down, a tiny bit of an arc here, and then straight back up. And then all we have to do now is make a U shape that connects this together. So it's going to come straight down like this, and it's going to curve in on this side. So a slight bow in, and it's going to come down about this far. So what I'm going to do now is just make a scoop that's going to come back up and meet here. So scoop around and up to meet. So you can find that these guidelines will help you be a little more accurate on your first try. So now this one, just come across, we'll mark our bottom on this side, we'll remind ourselves that we're going to be swooping this way and finishing this way. One side's going to feel easier than the other for you, and for me that was my easy side. So this side's going to be a little harder, but I'm just going to come down and touch and then curve out and meet in. So there I have the head and the tops of the wings, and now we're going to go straight down the bottom here and make a dot to show where the tip of the tail is going to be. So now all we need to do is make two bumps that will bring us into the tail tip. So this one's going to arch back this way and stop here. So this is just about halfway in the middle of that loop. And actually, erase a little bit here. I'm going to be picky. You don't have to be too picky, but I like my arch to be a little bit more leaned over. I'm happier with that. See, if you can see my old line, it was too bumped up. And now I'm going to make another arch that's sort of more just a straight up and down mountain. So this, if I continue this line, it would be just about a mountain there, coming down to the tip. So this one leaned over a bit, this one more uniform. So now I'm going to make a mark to show where this other one's going to be. So I'm going to come straight across here and sit down in the same spot and stopping here. So, and it's going to come up the same height. So I'll mark that too. All right, so I'm going to go pretty much uniformly up and down. And then I'm going to lean over to the side for this last one. It's going to come out to about here. Leaning over and down. All right, so now the fun part, I get to get out my marker and outline all of this. So I'll do this in time lapse. Alright, so you can see I've also thickened up the edges of the logo as I did my outlining, and now I'm just going to erase the pencil marks. You can comment below who your favorite superhero is. I'm sure you must like Batman. You're here watching this video. I've got lots of other videos you can watch. I've got the Superman logo up already, and somebody recently has asked me to do some sports logos and some Minecrafter logos, so let's see what happens. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is, this was permanent marker. Sharpies are permanent, so you don't have to worry about your other marker bleeding, but I'm going to use a yellow marker, and first I'll check my color here. Yeah, it's good. And I'm going to color in all of the area around the bat with yellow, and I don't have to worry about touching the black because the permanent marker will not bleed onto my water-based Crayola marker. I always use inexpensive materials because amateur artists don't have fancy things like Copics, or even some of us don't have pastels. So I just use watercolor paints and basic markers, things you have around the house. You can use fancier things and get different results, but you know what? I think it turns out just nice using this basic stuff. So I hope you've enjoyed watching me draw this Batman logo today. I know I'm getting lots of good suggestions of things to draw, but I do always love hearing from you. And if you could leave me a comment, then I'll know what you would like to see. And of course, if you liked watching this video, please click like. And if you would like to subscribe to my channel, I would love it. So please subscribe. Just click the button. Subscribe. Alright, so now I'm just going to color in the rest of this bat and we'll be all done. So thanks for watching.